Recording in progress.
All right, good morning. Today is Daf Hey, I believe.
Okay.
Sefer Sota.
Okay.
So we left off. So we left off at Daf Hey. Gemara moves talking about that we were discussing yesterday. Gasi Haruach, those haughtiness about a gaiba. So 3 lines on the top on Daf Hey Amud Aleph, and away we go. Azar leGasi Haruach Minayin. So where is the warning? So we're going to move today. So where is the warning for Gasi Haruach Minayin? Amar Rava Amar Ziri Shimul Va'azinu Al Tagbuhu Al Tibahu. So it says over there, right? Listen and pay, right? Do not basically, don't go ahead and be haughty. Right? If those people who elevate their hearts, i.e., they're haughty, so then the shechachta, right? Then they will forget Hashem. Exceed Hisham lecha pen tishtach as Hashem lecha. You should be careful lest you forget Hashem lecha. Rabbi Avin, like Rabbi Avin, Rabbi Eloi, Da'amar Rabbi Avin, Rabbi Eloi, Kol Makom Shenamar Hishamer pen ve'al. Anytime the pasuk says Hishamer or pen, which is says in this case, or ve'al, right? All these cases do not or let, right? Eino ella b'loi saseh. It's a loi saseh. So therefore, there was the warning for one not to be Gasi Haruach. Darash Rab Avi Rav Zimnim Amar Rav Shmei Ravasi. Sometimes said in the name of Ravasi, but Zimnim Amar Rav Shmei Ravami. Sometimes in the name of Ravami. Kol Adam sheyesh b'Gasi Haruach l'sayf mismait. A person who is haughty, ultimately he is diminished. Now the pasuk says Ramu Ma'at, right? So it says that those who be exalted will then be lower. Perhaps they'll say, okay, nevertheless they'll reside in this world. Right? They'll be removed from the world. And if the person does tshuva, then thank you. Then he'll be a person who lives out his years like Avram Avinu. As the pasuk says, right? But soon, and in other words, that over there it says kol, right? That he'll jump to kol. In Ka'avram kiyas of Yaakov, like Avram is Yaakov. By them it says Bakol, Mikol, and Kol. So all the lashonas of Kol is said by the Avos, and right. So Kichol, like them, like those who said Kol about, right?
Them all together, yeah.
Right. So therefore, he will be like the Avos, the Imlav. And if not, and if not, then basically he will be like the top of a stalk. So my Kureish Shibol, those are going to top the stalk. So Rav Chista. One says like the beard, right? The living parts sticking out of the stalk. Like the stalk itself. So it's according to opinion who says it's like the beard, right? The parts are sticking out of the stalk. It works well. Why? Right? Like on the head of shibolas. Like the stalk itself. What does it mean that they will be right? Like cut down, remove like the stalk. So Gavoa hu malaki. Like a person goes to his field when he starts to go ahead and cut, what gets cut first? That which is the tallest. So therefore, you want to go ahead and stick out and be the haughtiest and be the tallest. Then you're going to get cut down first. That's daka, ve'at daka v'shafel ruach.
In other words, duck your head.
Yeah, be lower yourself. So we have another pasuk that says. Where is this? This is Tess. Yeah. Oh, that was Tess. All right. So the pasuk in Yeshaya, the famous pasuk says over there, right? Right. So that Hakadosh Baruch Hu will be with those who are Shavel Ruach. So Rav Huna, Rav Chisa, Chadam are Asidak. One says basically he will bring those lowly up to Hashem, and our person is humble. He'll bring up to Hashem. Chadamar Ani Adaka. Then Hakadosh Baruch Hu will go to them. When we saw command Yomar Ani Adak, that Hakadosh Baruch Hu will go to them. Sharei Hakadosh Baruch Hu Heiniach Kol Harim v'Givais v'Hishra Shchinasai El Har Sinai. Because Hakadosh Baruch Hu did not go ahead to look to give the Torah to the tallest, highest mountain. Rather, he lowered himself down on Har Sinai. V'Lo Yigava Har Sinai Lamala. Right, and did not bring Har Sinai up. Rather, Hakadosh Baruch Hu went down to Har Sinai. So, to a person who is humble, Hakadosh Baruch Hu will bring himself down to the humble person, as opposed to bringing them up. And Amar Rav Yosef Li'elam Yimad Adam Midas Kaino. A person should always learn from his creator. Because Baruch Hu passed over, right? He left the other bigger mountains and hills and whatnot, and chose a more humble mountain like Har Sinai. Baruch atah Adam
Amen.
Amar Rabbi Elazar, Kol Adam sheyesh bo gasas ruach, roi ligado kashira. He's fit to be like cut down like an asherah tree, which is a tree that's worshipped for Avodah Zarah. It says over there, those are Rami Akoma, right? Those people are exalted, i.e., haughty. Over there, that your Shreyim, you should go ahead and knock down. Then his the dirt of him will not be moved. In other words, he won't be a person who was brought back by Tzchis Amesim. Shneimar says, Hakitza v'ranu shachli offer. Right, so it says over there, the pasuk says that awake those who are shachli offer. So shachli offer, those who, this says shachli offer lo nemar, ela shachli offer. It doesn't say those who are lying in the dirt will be raised up. Rather, those who live in the dirt, i.e., those people who humble themselves like dirt, those people will be lifted out. Anybody who dies. A person who makes, right, the dirt, like the place, his dwelling area when he is alive. Maybe
it's referring to Tzchis Amesim.
That's what he's talking about, right? Those will be brought back. Those people who only the people are fit to be brought back. Those people who lower themselves while they're alive, not anybody who's lying in the dirt. Those, i.e., excluding those who are Gasia Ruach. So if Abraham is called them Sheish Bagas Ruach, Shechina Malal Salav, then the Shechina mourns over him. Shenamar the Gavom Marachek Yada. Yeda. Right. So the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right, will distance those people basically from afar. Right, he'll distance himself from them. And Darash Rabbi Rabbi Elazar Babri Shalok Midas HaKadosh Baruch Hu Midas Basar V'Dam. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not like man. Midas Basar V'Dam Gavoy Reis Gavoy. As a gavoa, right? A person who's high up in stature, he only sees people who are high in stature, but he doesn't look at those who are lowly. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not like that. Even though he's exalted, he sees the lowly. It says, Kiram Hashem v'shafel ira. So he says that even though the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is high up, nevertheless, he sees those who are lowly.
David was much shorter than Shaul.
Yeah, so
look what
you saw him. So Amar Rav Chizda v'Tema Marufa Kolam Sheish B'Gas Zaruach Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu Ein Ani V'Hu Yachol L'Dor Ba'Ilam. We can't live together in the same world. Shenemar the says. So Milashne B'Seiser Yehu also Atzmis Gavoy Naim V'Rochav Levav Oto. Right, so the pasuk over there says, right, that this person's Malashon says we'll soon see what that is talking about. But a person also, he will cut those down to people who are haughty and who are very proud. And Hakadosh Baruch Hu oiso la'uchal, right? With him, he cannot bear, right? So I'll take oiso elaito. With him, Hakadosh Baruch Hu can't be with him together in the same world. La'uchal. And he could amasni law. Some say at misapri lashnar, some say misapri lashnar. Shnamar the says mashne b'seisareu, right? It says over there that's referring to those who are speak, about their fellow man. Ato asmis him, he will be cut down. And Amar Rabbi Alexandria called him Sheish B'Gas Ruach Afilu Ruach Chima Uchraza. Right, even a person who's very haughty, even a small wind will trigger him. Right, Shedamar, as the pasuk says, V'Rashaim Kiyom Digrash. Right, the Rashaim are like the sea. Right, they move like the sea. Ma'yam Sheish B'Kamar Vias Ruach Kima Uchraza. That even though the sea, let's say, is a large body of water, nevertheless, you add a little bit of water, right, then it affects a lot. So Adam Sheimbo El Revis, a man who only has, let's say, a revis of blood, then Al Chas Kavakama, certainly he is, this Russia is affected. And Amar Rabbi Chia bar Ashi Amar Rav, Tamar Chacham Tzarich Shiebo Echad Mishmainim B'Shminis. Right, nevertheless, there still needs to be like 1/8 of an eighth haughtiness for Talmid Chacham in order for him to give over Torah and to give over to him to go ahead and I guess instill fear and Torah inside them. So there still has to be a small level of Gas Zaruach.
164.
An eighth of an eighth. Amar Rav Huda bar Yeshua. It's like a beard, Tim, like that, the beard of a star. And Amar Rava, Vishamta, the east bay, Vishamta, the west bay. Right? A person also, if he's completely excommunicated, right, he has haughtiness, but he also has nothing. Right? People avoid him and he has no power. And Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, right? It's not good to have all of it. It's not, or any of it. Right, mizuta dechsiv, right? Is it such a right? Is it nothing that which is written? Toivas Hashem kol gaval lev, right? Even any part of haughtiness, right, is a toeva to Hashem. And Omar Chizkiah says Chizkiah eight tefillah sh'adam nishmas elinkein masim aliba kibasar. A person's tefillah is not listened unless he makes himself like basar, like flesh, lowly flesh. And the says. So it says kol basar lishtachava, so we're referring to right lowly flesh, right soft flesh, and it's not hard. And Amrab Zera basar ksiv be v'nirpa adam like ksiv v'nirpa. So it says over there by describing different saras. So only when it says basar does the pasuk use the lashon of v'nirpa, he will be healed. However, the other cases sapachas and other cases when we're talking about saras, it doesn't say. When it doesn't say those cases, when it says Adam, a person thinks he's man, he thinks he's chashuv, it doesn't say v'nirpa. So you see, only if a person makes himself like basar, right? When referred to man, it refers to basar, then he's healed, but not regular. If he doesn't treat himself like basar. And Rabbi Yochanan, it says Rabbi Yochanan Adam. What does Adam stand for? Right, referred to man. Person should remember. Efer dam mara, right? Person is right. He's comes from the dust, right? He's blood and bile, right? That's what he's made of. And basar, you should also remember that he's only flesh, right? He's flesh and blood. So busha, right? There's embarrassment, whatever. Busha, srucha, right? Something which if a person dies, his flesh, his body goes bad. And the rimon, and then the worms, right? So these, basically a person is not in this world for a long time, and his body will go bad.
So they're exchanging a samach for us.
So ikadari shol l'chsiv b'shir. Very, very good at it. So it says there, shol. Some say it means a grave. The don't say srucha, right? Which is samach is already pointed out. Basar, right? It's not beis samach. It's beis sin, right? So therefore, some say shol. And number of Ashikol Sheish Gas Ruach L'Seif Nifches, a person who has Gas Ruach, he's haughty. In the end, he will be diminished. Maris the pasuk says a little play in the words. Let's say right. So it's referring to these. It says referring to some of the names of the tzaras. Vein says Ella Lashon Gavosh. That's referring to Lashon Gavosh. Says Vel Kol Harim Haramim Vel Kol Agivas Hanisos. Right, so Nisos is like hi, right? Vein sapachas el tefillah. That's a lowlish or secondary shinamaz. But says Havchanina al achas hakoras lechol pas lechem. So it says Havchani also lashon of be tafel, be secondary attached to me. So referring to over there. So you see that the one who is says right will eventually be tefillah. And I'm Risha ben Levi Borei Kama Gedolim Nemuchia Ruach Levi Kodesh Baruch Hu. See how precious those who are lowly before Kodesh Baruch Hu. Shebashash Shebeis Hamikdash Kayam Adam Makriv Oila Skar Oila. Person makes the Ola, he gets rewarded for an Ola. Biyada Mincha, if he has a Mincha, Skar Mincha. Mincha Biyada. Avami Shadai to Shvela, but a person who comes in who all humble Ma'alav Alav Hakasav Kilu Hikriv Kol HaKarbanos. It's as if he brought all the Karbanos Shve'amar. Zivchei Elokim Ruach Lishbara, right? The broken soul, a lowly soul person who is humble, such a person is like he Zivchei Elokim, all of the Zvachim, all the offerings together. Also, his prayers will not be rejected. It says, Lev Nishbar Velitka Elokim Loi Sivaze, right? So that a broken heart, that Kodesh Baruch Hu will not turn away. So a person davens with a broken heart, he's humble, he has bad things nevertheless happen to him, Kodesh Baruch Hu will not turn away. The other Rabbi Shimon Levi, and finally call Sham or Chaysav. Sham, person who goes ahead and he evaluates, right? Evaluates. We'll soon see the place out the pasuk of actually some person who evaluates. In other words, he assesses the gain versus reward, versus loss. Because we'll see the ultimate salvation from a Kadosh Baruch Hu. What it says. V'sam derech arena b'yesh elakim. So it says over there, and v'sam derech, right? You'll place a path. So al tiki v'sam ela v'sham derech, right? You know, evaluate the path, i.e., pros versus cons. Schar oynesh versus schar mitzvah. Fine, 2 dots. That was all about Gasi Ruach. Now we go back to Sota. Gemara. So he said in the Mishnah, it's a very funny lashon in the Mishnah. It says the husband warns his wife out to dabri, and then she says if she's just medaberis, then it's okay. But what's going on here, right? He said don't talk, and she talked to this man. So what's going on? Is it talking, not talking, Easter or not? So Marla. So you said over there in the Mishnah, Marla b'fnei shnaim al tidabri im ish ploni. You said over there in front of 2 witnesses, do not speak with Shimon. Is that ploni? Is that Alma? Dibur, Stira. So you see over there that Dibur is like Stira. V'hadar Tani Dibra Ima then says she was Dibra with him. She was whatever Dibra means. Imo Adayin Muteres Lebesa. She's still mutter to the house. She went to her husband. She was just talking. Muteres Lecham Truma. She go ahead and eat Truma. He's a Kohen. Ama Dibur like Klumu. So you see, Dibur is nothing. So what's this lashon of Dibur? Samarabayi Hachi Kama. This is what I mean to say. Al Tidabri. If he told her specifically, do not talk. The Dabra, and she talked with that guy, or he told her Al Tidabri, the Nistera, and he told her do not talk with Bob, right? And she was in seclusion with him, or Al Tistari, or he says do not be in seclusion, the Dabrimo, and she just spoke with him. Adai, all these cases, Moteris Lebesa, Moteris Lechav. All these cases. But mutter and to the house and mutter to each Shuma. However, in the case of where he said al tistari, do not go ahead and be in seclusion and privacy with Bob. And nichnasa imo lebeis haseis, and then she went in seclusion. Then v'shasakadei tuba. Then she was there for the amount of time of tuba. Then asura lebeisa asura lechol tuba. That's the case that's forbidden. So if he just says do not talk is not a warning, right? Do not be in seclusion is a warning, and the only way to violate that is to actually be in seclusion. Talking is not considered anything.
Why would we not talk? Don't be.
Because
Right. So
no, because that's not the real warning. Because if you told do not talk, you never told me that. You just said do not talk. You didn't say even though you said to do less, but since talking is not usher, so therefore maybe the whole thing was nothing. So therefore you have to
The kinoi has to be
by stira. Right. The king is really
He
stira.
has to say don't be the stira with.
Right. Correct. Right. With 2 innocents. Right.
Yeah.
Be mace. Let's we say if now you warned her, okay, she got a drink, then it dies. So she only does chalitza na yibum. So the Gemara says, yamaitis yabim nami. Yibumi. Why can't you do yibum? Some of Yosef Amakar, the pasuk says, "Vayotzami base of Hayikol."
this is for antistati or
This is
that's the Nistato.
she's guilty. She was Mr.
Oh, okay, so
No, not guilty. I mean, she was secluded. She was right. She was secluded.
Settled.
She was in a room
Right.
with the guy who closed door for an hour, comes out. What's going on? So she's ushered her husband until he drinks the sota. So why? But if he dies, why can't you do yibum with his brother?
No, because she needs to do the.
But the guy dies. But normally the pasuk says she drinks the water to go back to her husband. But there's no husband here, so maybe she doesn't. So she doesn't drink the water. So she has to get
So
do
the
chalitza.
kina is not
Why,
there.
why can't you do yibum? So we'll soon see. So it says over there, pasuk says when it has to do with, let's say, a rayas, right? And so he kicks her out, and or whatever, he divorces her, and she marries somebody else. So therefore, a woman basically who was involved with the rayas can go to ish acher, but we don't go ahead and set her upon the yavam. If that's the case, then if she doesn't go, she only goes to ish acher, so she doesn't go to the yavam. Let her be completely putter from not only yibum and chalitza. So Malay Ilu Isa Labal, if the husband's around Miloy boy get, would he not required to give her a get, right? Just and like that. So Hashtanami to boy chalitza, therefore we also require some sort of chalitza. Vizdami in here is option number 2. I believe there's 4. We'll do 2 today, 2 tomorrow. I'm Rav Yosef, Rachman Amar, V'yotzam, Ibesa, V'harcha, V'haisa, Lish Acher. Right, then she goes to another house in order not to destroy it, to at least right? In order, right, for her not to go ahead and destroy that house. No, she already destroyed, the first husband's house, and he kicked her out. So now we're gonna go ahead and tell the other, oh, go bring her in, right, to be your home wrecker. Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, if she's a home wrecker, so why are you letting her marry anybody else? She shouldn't be able to ever get married again. Samarle, me call Ramina la Allah about karche, right? In other words, no, not necessarily. In case of Yavam, we're saying you have to, this is the guy, right? So since we're forcing it upon the brother, therefore he can say, hey, why you want to destroy my house? Somebody else wants to go ahead and destroy his own house. So then we're not going to stand in the way. We don't force the Yavam to go ahead and take her. All right, we'll stop here. Tomorrow, Hashem, we will continue. And we're thinking.